Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we would like to play a short video of a company.
Energy, the lifeblood of our modern world. As urbanization and economies expand, so does our energy demand. Meeting this demand sustainably is our greatest challenge. That's where Oriana Power steps in, innovating with renewable energy solutions for a greener, cleaner future. In our decade-long journey, we've executed 70+ projects worldwide, delivering 100+ megawatt electrical energy capacity. But we are not just about energy. At Oriana, our heart beats for social responsibility, with ESG at our core since 2013. The result: 14.5 million safe man-hours, annual CO2 savings of 111,000 tons, preservation of 15+ million trees, and creating jobs for 5,000+ individuals. Founded by Rupal Gupta, Praveen Jangra and Anirudh Saraswat, having an experience and expertise of over 15 years in solar industry, Oriana commenced its operations in 2013 by providing low-carbon energy solutions to its clients for installing both on-site and off-site solar projects. Oriana Power, a leading sustainable solar partner, delivers innovative solar solutions to diverse sectors, from businesses and governments to educational institutions. We offer bespoke solar strategies, guiding projects from concept to completion and beyond into maintenance. With a solid foundation in solar industry knowledge, Oriana rapidly branched out from consultancy to EPC and also independently developing and operating solar projects. We now manage a 100+ megawatt capacity portfolio, achieved through the installation of rooftop, floating, ground-mounted solar projects and solar farms. Our global reach spans India, Kenya, South Africa and the Middle East, serving 150+ customers across varied verticals. Our accomplishments include ambitious projects like Rajasthan's first floating 1 megawatt solar power plant, powering 1,000+ households, and a 4.35 megawatt ground-mounted plant at UCWL Dabok, overcoming rocky hill terrain challenges. With the motto of continuous drive for optimization through innovation, Oriana Power is not just an energy provider. We are a catalyst for change by powering thousands of homes with cleaner, smarter energy. We are fueling a brighter, more sustainable future. We are a truly renewable energy company. We are True RE.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Analyst Broker Conference of Oriana Power Limited to discuss the upcoming SME IPO. We have with us today Mr. Rupal Gupta, Co-founder, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Anirudh Saraswat, Co-founder and Chief Business Officer, and Mr. Praveen Kumar Jangra, Co-founder, Chief Technology Partner and Chief Operating Officer from Oriana Power Limited. Corporate Capital Ventures Private Limited are the merchant bankers to the issue, and Mr. Kulbhushan Parashar, a director, is also present on the call with us. Oriana Power Limited was incorporated in 2013 by three young professionals, Mr. Rupal Gupta, Mr. Anirudh Saraswat, and Mr. Praveen Kumar Jangra. The company is headquartered in Noida, Delhi since 2017. Oriana Power Limited has installed over 70 projects with a cumulative capacity of 100+ MW of solar power, servicing over 30 clients across 19+ Indian states. The company has a robust business model comprising EPC projects and RESCO. Oriana Power Limited is supported by a team of element industry professionals in an advisory capacity and renowned market veterans as its investors. The company has significantly increased its scale of operation and reported total income of Rs 133 crore and operating profit margin of 14.35% in FY2023. The company has been profitable at profit after tax levels since 2018. The company to undertake further capex and invest into modification of infrastructure and technology upgradation. The company is offering a fresh issue of 50,55,600 equity shares with a face value of Rs 10. The issue would list on NSE Emerge, and to discuss more on it, I would now like to request Mr. Rupal Gupta, co-founder, managing director and CEO, to share his opening remarks and insights about the company. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Amar. Thank you for inviting all the participants, and welcome to all the participants here on the call. On behalf of Oriana Power and CCB, we give our sincere thanks and giving us opportunity to be part of this discussion and give brief about Oriana Power. So Aman, I would request if you can start with the presentation. So probably, thanks Aman. So before coming to about Oriana Power, I would like to give a brief about the name reason behind why this Oriana name come into existence. So Oriana means is a rising sun. Rising sun, as it says, it's a positive energy. It says hope. It says growth. So we believe in positive energy. We believe in growth. We believe in sustainability and good intent. Now, how we started? Oriana Power was started in 2013 by three of us, Mr. Parveen, Mr. Anirudh and myself, Rupal Gupta. Before coming to the next part of the presentation, I would like to request my co-partners to give their brief introduction, and then I'll take it forward for the further brief about Oriana. Anirudh, please.
So I am Anirudh Saraswat, Chief Business Officer of Oriana Power. I am a chemical engineer and I am looking after business strategy and investor relations. Over to Praveen.
Hello everyone. Myself Praveen Kumar Jangra. I'm having a 15-year of experience with the electrical graduate, and I'm looking after the technology and operation part in Oriana Power.
Thank you, Anirudh. Thank you, Praveen. Kulbhushan, I would request you can introduce yourself also.
So, thank you everyone to join this call. Myself, Kulbhushan Parashar. I'm representing Corporate Capital Ventures, who is the lead manager of this IPO, and I believe most of the investors who are on this call, we know each other very well. So, we'll discuss about Oriana mostly on this call.
Thank you, Kulbhushan. Thank you. So now it's my turn. I'm Rupal Gupta, the CEO of the company, looking after business development and sales activities largely. My background is I'm having 15 plus experience into renewable sectors, otherwise total 17 years of experience with the engineering background, coming from Uttar Pradesh, Jhansi. Before this, I was part of Landco Solar and one of the European company called Robotina. And in 2013, we all three started Oriana Power. Aman, please, next slide. Next. Yeah, so as we just mentioned, Oriana Power is a true renewable energy company. True renewable means we are 100% focused into solar and related field. As on date, it was founded by three of us, as we have just mentioned. And also we are growing in, diversified side of it, which I am unable to mention here on the call. But yes, we have some special ambitions to be part of renewable sector going forward. Next. As on date, Oriana Power has delivered 100 megawatt plus project in the 19 states with the 70 plus project sites and 30 plus clients. Apart from this, we have delivered couple of projects outside India as well. As Aman mentioned, we are profitable from the day one and having the 100% focus on the profitability and the growth. Next. Yeah, so as Oriana Power has good presence in India and the 19 states, we have ambitions and already got some presence and footmark in the Africa, and going forward having the plans to be in some rest of the part of the world. Next. So I believe we all understand what is the need of renewable energy. So I won't take much emphasis on this particular slide, but I think we all know about global warming. तो एक बड़ा अच्छा सा स्टेटमेंट मैं आज मॉर्निंग में ही पढ़ रहा था, मोबाइल पे आया. It's no more global warming. Global warming is gone. Now it's a global burning. So we all have to be very serious about it before it comes to too late for all of us. So as a country, we have got very ambitious target of renewable energy setup. Out of that capacity, 400 plus gigawatt is coming from solar and going forward. By 2030, India is going to set up 450 gigawatt of renewable energy. Next. Next slide, please. Aman, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Apologies, just give me a minute.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, as of now, country has delivered almost 65 gigawatt plus solar in the different category of the segment, which is utility as well as the open access and rooftop segment. Right now, as I just mentioned, India has got a target of 450 gigawatt by 2030. So we as a company and as a country have got very big numbers to achieve, big numbers to execute in the future going forward, and have huge opportunity in terms of business as well. Next slide, please. So this I'll skip as I'm not really allowed to speak about much on this African market. Next, please. So as Oriana Power, we have built a very strong foundation. As we said, we are almost 10 years old company, have got very good presence, very good credibility in the market with our team. We have achieved some special milestones, which I'm going to talk about in the further discussions. We have got the team, which is capable to execute the projects from 100 kilowatt and up to even 100 megawatt capacity, and have got very credible management team. We as a 3 founders, and apart from the founders, we have got very strong advisory team and the board team. Now to take it forward further, we have delivered very special projects. Just quickly, if I need to mention, like floating solar and all. Now, please, next slide. This we can skip, but largely, as a vision, we want to be front runner in the solar industry in the open access C&I category. We would like to provide the affordable and effective energy to all the different type of consumers in the C&I category. Our values are sustainability, innovation, and collaboration with the excellence. Next slide, please. Now, these milestones, I request Mr. Andud, if you can just quickly talk about milestones of Oriana Power till date.
Yeah, so we have started in 2013, and in 2015 we have delivered one of the outdoor test bed of testing solar panels, first of its kind in India in 2015, and in 2017 we have started our full-fledged operation in EPC, and in 2019 we have started RESCO model, and currently we have delivered floating solar on hills, carports, and other things. Next slide, please.
So this we can skip as we have already covered. So as we just mentioned, we have got very credible board and independent directors working, for our further growth. Mr. Shastri, Dr. O.S. Shastri, he is one of the first scientists of the country, from the Ministry of Defense, and was scientist in National Institute of Solar Energy Center in Gurgaon. Praveen is one of the student of Dr. Shastri. Now he is part of Oriana Power. Ms. Archana Jain, Andud, if you can talk about Archana and Mr. Dhaval.
She is having good experience in GST and taxation side, and Dhaval is a very good company secretary and having vast experience in the industry, in the capital market.
Next slide, please. So So on the advisory side, we have got Mr. Ish Gupta, who is from the solar background of 35 plus experience. Mr. Amit Kumar, who is an ex-nuclear scientist and also founder of MSMEX. He is helping us in the growth and strategy part of Oriana Power. Mr. Rajas Sure, who is again a solar industry expert, also having background of financing side of it, and taking us into different side of the globe. Next slide, please. Now on the investment side, I'll request Anuj if you can just again.
So we have from the industry side, we have Mr. Prashant Jain and Mr. Neeraj Gupta from the business side, and we have veterans of capital market, Shri Anil Kumar Balji and Shri Manoj Kumar Balji.
Next, please. Now it comes to our core business, what we do and what sort of projects we are into. So I'll request Mr. Praveen if you can just talk about CapEx and Resco model and some of the highlights of the projects.
Yeah, thank you, Rupal. And as Rupal mentioned, that we are in industry of providing energy solutions for the commercial and industrial consumers. So here are the solutions, what type of solution we are offering. So this includes rooftop solution, where they have the space on the industry roof, so we can accommodate the solar panel, the solar projects on the rooftop. If they have the space on the ground, we can accommodate on the space on ground also. And in addition to this, we are coming with a new technology. This is floating technology. If some industry like the cement, steel industry, they are having some water bodies, so we can set up a solar project on the water body also, which save the water evaporation also and the land part also, which that can be used for any alternative purpose also. So considering this, there are two type of model where we are working. One is the CapEx, the second one is OpEx. The CapEx is one where we sell the project itself, means the ownership of the project goes to the off-taker side, and the second one is the Resco, or we can call it OpEx also. In this case, we will be the Oriana will be the owner of the project, and we sell the electricity to the consumer on the monthly billing basis. So this will be having a long-term agreement with the consumer, like 25 years, and we take the ownership of the project. We do the O&M and all those maintenance of the project, and we on the monthly basis we charge the electricity at a certain tariff rate which we have agreed in the PPA agreement.
Next, please. So this is also largely we have covered different kind of solutions. So please skip this slide. Now it comes to our clientele. What kind of clientele we have earned in last 10 years of journey. So we are very feel pride about clients we have got under the CapEx category. We have got Hindustan Petroleum, we have got Hero MotoCorp, JK Lakshmi Cement, IOCL, Mrs. Baxter, Udaipur Cement, and likewise many more clients. Under the Resco category also we have got Mahindra Automotive in Pune, Sona BMW again in Pune, RACL Automotive, again in the automotive sector company. Apart from that, we have got Modern Delhi Public School on the institutional side, Sledgehammer, Mandora Oil Refinery, and many more. One very special client very recently we have added NHRCL, National High Speed Railway Corporation, where we are putting up the solar rooftop project at the terminal of NHRCL, which is the first bullet train project from Sabarmati to Mumbai. So we are part of that project, and this project we have got even further extension, further capacity addition into it very recently. Next slide. Apart from these clients, very recently we have added one big client, one big PSUs like Coal India. So very recently we have been awarded for the project capacity of 28 megawatt, having worth of more than 135 crore. So I'll be coming to these numbers, but just to give you a little flavor. So when we started our operations, so we had a first order of 3.5 lakhs rupees, and today we have a single order worth of 135 crore. So that is the journey, that is the growth we have achieved in the last few years. So we will come to this slide maybe later. I'll request if we can cover rest of the part first. Next slide, please. Next. So this CapEx and Resco model Praveen has already covered. Any query probably we can cover in Q&A section. Next, please. We can skip this part. This is detailing about CapEx business model. We can skip. Under the RESCO model, just quickly, audience, we have the power purchase agreement for the tenure of 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. That means it's an annuity business which gives us a long-term opportunities. Next, please. Now we are expanding further. As again, I'm restricted to talk within the range of DRHP, so I'll not be covering much part of it. But yes, we are expanding further in the other venues of solar industry. Next, please. This is all about team. We have grown with the team in last few years, and as of now, we are by 31st March we were the team of 47 members, which has been grown further and growing very rapidly. This year on, probably will be double the capacity of the team also, as we are growing in multi-X. Next. This is one of the slides talks about in which states we are already and we are going to focus. So yes, as we have been operating the maximum capacity in the western part and north part of the country, but yes, we have very serious opportunities in the southern part of the country. So our focus is going to be north, west, and some part of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Next, please. We can skip this one. Next, please. This is about today's session. Why we are meeting. So purpose we all know, it's all about IPO listing we are getting done. So what sort of numbers we are bringing for the investors? So Anurag, if you can take up this part.
So object of the issue contains the working capital part and other investments which we're gonna do in our subsidiaries. So we'll use 23 crores of the total amount we'll raise from this IPO in working capital, 23 CR, and investment in subsidiaries for RESCO model, 20 CR, and for upgradation of technology, bringing AI and SAP in the system, so 2 CR, and rest general corporate purposes. Next slide.
This is the allocation details of how this 50 lakh share will be distributed among other categories of investors. So anchor group is approximately 14 lakh shares. Then the HNI reservation is of 7 lakh 20,000 shares. Reservation for retail category is 16 lakh 80,000 shares. And the price band is approximately 115 to 118.
Next slide. So we are very thankful to CCB and special thanks to MSMEX. Amit has been very kind to us and a good mentor and a guru, tech group for us. And where we are right now is because of MSMEX. Next slide.
Next. So I'm sure there must be some queries about our business strength, opportunities, and weakness. So strength has been all three cumulatively having 47 plus experience into the solar industry together, and having diversified product line for rooftop, ground mounted, other categories, and diversified across the country, and even having ambitious plans to be in rest of the part of the world. And we have got in-house strong EPC and O&M team, so that means we have very good control on the costing side of it, and good control on the performance assessment and monitoring side of it. Opportunities we all know, as I just mentioned, it's no more global warming, it's a global burning. So opportunities we can imagine. Weakness side, as such, it's very difficult to say weakness. But yes, as solar is one of the product line or business line where it's a capital intensive. So we need also high capital requirement, and also sometimes there is a challenge of getting the raw material because somewhere some sort of connect is there from the China side of it or import side of it. So that is only weakness we can see as an industry, but not as an individual capacity at Oriana Power. Threat, it's only one of the major threat which probably I would like to highlight, which is about the regulatory side of it. Every state has got different discounts and regulatory policies. So that means we have to adopt a lot of these things which changes time to time. So that is the only thread we do see in the market. Next slide, please. Peer comparison. KP would like to talk about it.
So on comparison side, there are only two companies which are listed. I would say that it is not apple-to-apple comparison because Oriana has a mix of capex and RESCO. Other companies are either EPC companies or only RESCO companies. RESCO companies means where the asset is owned by the company and electricity is being sold. So I can compare Oriana Power Limited with KPI Green Energy, which is a purely RESCO company. And then there is a company called Concall Engineering. It is a EPC company, and you can see the numbers and you can compare that the turnover of KPI Green is approximately 644 crore as on 31st March 23. The turnover of Gensol is approximately 366 crore, and Oriana's revenue on March 31st was 133 crore, and the valuation is at which KPI Green Energy is trading is approximately 3,000 crore. Concall Engineering is trading at approximately 1,700 crore, and the proposed valuation or market cap of Oriana on the upper side of the price range will be approximately 226 crore. It is written here 192, which is not correct. So it is approximately 226 crore.
Next slide.
This is all we have covered in all the slides.
So on the financials part, you can just give a brief about the financials because we have skipped that.
Yeah, sure. One slide which we skip, if you can click on the financial sheet.
Back.
Go back for the back. We skipped one presentation which was in the middle. Yeah, here.
So we have done revenue of 133 CR in last year, and before that it was 101 CR, and before that it was 33 CR. So the EBITDA was 14% and PAT was over 9%. And the working capital cycle is less than 30 days for us, as we have payment milestone from the clients. And the ROCE was 46% and ROE was 35%.
As on 31st March.
As on 31st March 2023. 2023.
So Aman, we can, I think we are good with the presentation. Now we can start the Q&A.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. To ask a question, please click on the Q&A tab on the panel and click on Raise Hand button. The operator will announce your name when it is your turn to ask a question. Please accept the prompt on your screen and unmute your microphone while proceeding with the question. To ask a question, please click on the Q&A tab on the panel and click on Raise Hand. The first question is from Ritesh Abhi from Kingsman Wealth Fund. Please go ahead. Ritesh, your line is unmuted.
So I just have a couple of questions. One is on the operating margin side. You know, if I compare it with KPI Energy, I see that the operating profit margins of Oriana is around 14, whereas KPI is quoting around 30% OPMs. So just wanted to understand the reason for such variance in the operating profit margins between the two companies, and how come it is less for Oriana. Number two is just wanted to understand. I read somewhere in your presentation about the foray into green hydrogen. So, what are the plans of the company? How do you plan to actually enter that sector, and where exactly would you be focusing on?
Yeah, you're Mr. Ritesh, right? If I read it correctly. Yeah. Thank you, Mr.
Institutional Wealth Fund.
Yeah, thanks, Ritesh. I would like to answer first your second question. So, in terms of second question, we are not literally allowed to talk about that subject right now. But yes, probably off the call and next time when we meet, we'll talk about it because that is not part of the RHP. But yes, in the presentation somewhere it was covered. So we'll cover that part probably in the next round of discussion. Regarding your first question on the operating margin side, very correctly you noticed Oriana Power has been operating on the CapEx and OpEx mode, which is RESCO or IPP mode. So under the CapEx mode operating margin, what we have achieved as under mentioned around 40% plus, while KPI has achieved little more, but if you look at their margins are on the higher side, that too because of the power generation sale. So Oriana Power is also into that business segment where we have the installed capacity of 23 megawatt by 31st March. So that is the reason the margins on the EPC sides are more visible here, while the RESCO margins are going to be visible probably in the next year, and our operating margins will go up. So that is the only reason which just gives you sight of having the difference in numbers.
Because I can explain it further. So KPI Green's margin are purely from the RESCO business, wherein the business has different or very higher side of EBITDA, wherein in the Oriana's financials you can see the blended profitability numbers. So their profit, their EBITDA is coming from EPC plus RESCO, and that is why blended it seems low. But when we compare RESCO to RESCO, we are on the same formula, right? Aman, we can take next question.
Yeah, thank you. The next question is from Darshit Shah from Nirvana Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, I just want to check in terms of our current executable order book. I understand it's close to 200 megawatt in terms of EPC, and out of that order book, how much of that percentage will be with the modules that we want to procure, and how much of that would be where the modules are going to come from the client?
So 70% of the order are with modules and 30% on BOS basis. So current orders of 200 crore plus and all are with modules.
Sorry, I didn't get on the current order book. How much you said?
Current order book in which we have PO has been released by the client is of 200 CR.
Okay, and those are with 70% of them are with solar modules.
All are with solar modules, but we have some capacity in the pipeline with BOS as well, without modules.
Okay. So our current executable order book in terms of this year would be roughly how much in terms of megawatt?
70 megawatt.
70. And would it be fair to assume that this EPC contracts with along with the modules would be somewhere around 3.5 to 4 crore per megawatt? Roughly. Okay. And do we intend to kind of go backward integrate into manufacturing of solar panels and solar cells at any given point, or that's not in the horizon as of now, at least for next couple of years?
that's not in the horizon in the next couple of years.
And in terms of the demand which has kind of shot up, and we have seen that the solar module as well as the raw material prices has gone down almost at an historical low level. So what's your take on that in terms of how is that affecting the demand supply in terms of production capacities in India versus kind of things getting from China?
So this has always been a mix, in last few years. Largely, if you say the one of the segment which is non-utility segment is being catered through mostly from the Indian manufacturer. Utility segment is being prevailing by Chinese manufacturer. But now, as government of India has tried hard through ALMM method procedures or duty imposition to get the maximum capacity within the country. But yes, as the country demands typically 20 gigawatt of capacity, where probably Indian capacity is not up to that level. So it is going to be mixed. In terms of price variation, being the EPC company, we don't have really that threat as such, as we take the orders as per the back-end offer validity of the supplier.
And lastly, if I can ask, who are we? Most of the solar modules we procure from domestic players, or would it be from China?
So we have been doing both. We have been doing both, to be honest. It depends on the client requirement. As being an EPC company, we also take the client's input and requirement into consideration. So if it is a tender, so largely tender comes with the Indian module requirement as a mandatory part of it. But industrial clients are largely with the imported modules and high quality modules.
And is the quality of Indian players at par since you have executed contracts in EPC, or you feel that the Chinese modules are far more efficient?
To be honest, we really cannot comment on it because that is very, very subjective part. We can
in general. Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to participants, to ask a question, please click on the Q&A tab on the panel and click on Raise Hand button. You may also send a text question from the Q&A tab. So in the meanwhile, while we wait for the queue to assemble, we have a few text questions. The first text question is from Ravi Shah from Multiplier Capital. Why are the PAT margins lesser than KPI Green? It is half of KPI Green order book on hand currently.
So, first I would like to say we are not here to compare us with KPI Green only. We are demonstrating our company, our financials, our business model, and see, they are, as we have already discussed, they are into pure RESCO business, and they have achieved a scale which we will achieve in years to come. So that is what I can say.
Thank you. The next text question is from Nirav Sharma from HNI. Is there any benefit scheme in terms of capex or any tax benefits from the government? Can you give some details on it?
Praveen, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, so for the EPC side, there were some subsidy available earlier, but now the government has raised their hands that now subsidy is only available for the domestic consumers. So no subsidy for that. But yes, on the second part, the government has given a depreciation allowed for 40% of yearly depreciation, under which they can the EPC consumer or the EPC the developer as a captive use, they can have the benefit of taxation.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next text question is from Rishit Shah from Nuvama Wealth. What is the revenue and EBITDA split between CAPEX and RESCO model? With investment of 20 crore, what capacity can you add in RESCO model? What kind of revenue and EBITDA per unit does the company make in RESCO model?
For EPC model, EBITDA is 14% and PAT is above 9%. And for RESCO model, the EBITDA is above 70%. And unit economics.
Yeah, unit economics before that. Your second, one more question was there in the whole thing. Second query was, if you can repeat it.
Yeah, yes, sir. With the investment of 20 crore.
Yeah. So 20 crore is going to get the capacity of 60 megawatt cumulative by end of this year under the RESCO category.
As we have 35 megawatt already in the country.
Right. Now the unit economics regarding the RESCO. So if I take example of 1 megawatt capacity with the generation of 15 lakhs units per year of generation, say in the state of Rajasthan, and tariff is 4 rupees. So revenue is going to be 60 lakhs. I hope you are clear about it. 15 lakhs is the unit generation. 4 lakhs is the per unit tariff to the client. So revenue is going to be 60 lakhs. Out of that, if we take the operational expenses minus, so that is typically 3 lakhs rupee per megawatt per year. So we get the EBITDA of 57 lakhs rupee per megawatt per year from the RESCO. If we do the depreciation and the debt component outside the calculation, then we get the net cash accrual of in the range of 35 lakhs rupee per year. So bottom line is, Mr. Shah, we are trying to achieve, we always strive to achieve the IRR of 15% plus minus one kind of thing. So that is the bottom line in the business scenario we keep with us. I hope I'm able to answer all the questions or the queries in this particular set of questions, Mr. Shah.
Thank you. The next question is from Rohat Kamath from Rohan Finance Capital. What is the sales target for next 3 years, and want to know how much CAGR you will grow?
Andrew?
So as in the past, we were able to grow with a CAGR of 40 to 50%. We'll try to keep same thing in the future, but we'll not able to give next 3 years numbers right now because of the restriction of the RHP.
Thank you. We will now move to our audio question. The next question is from Kaushal Shah as an individual investor. Kaushal Shah, your line is unmuted. Please proceed with the question.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Shah.
How about the opportunities abroad in the underdeveloped countries?
सर आंसर यही बोल सकता हूँ कि बहुत कुछ है, but DRHP की restrictions की वजह से we are not allowed to talk about much anything which is not mentioned there.
So I would add here, Kaushalji, that India itself is a very, very big market, and India has not reached to the level where the top leadership has made the objectives. So India itself is a very big market, and then we have countries like Africa, who are 5 years back where we were. So Africa comes as a very big opportunity, but we will try to focus mainly in India first, and then yes, we are spreading our presence in different developing countries. So opportunities are huge.
And anything on energy storage or future, new opportunities that government is coming up with in the energy sector?
So we are just going with the upcoming policies and the expansion of the natural side of business as per the government and the market requirement. So that we are going to cater for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Rajesh Vora from Chenmai Ventures. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. You mentioned that 70 megawatt is the execution of new capacity you are targeting in this financial year, FY24, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the execution you did last year, which is FY23? How much was the capacity increase that you executed last year?
So last year, Rajeshji, we did 40 plus megawatt of EPC.
Okay. So you are trying to double that. And how much of this 70 will be RESCO and EPC? 40
The 70 is the EPC side of it.
Okay. And RESCO also you mentioned in the PPT presentation that 30 megawatt will be executed in this before end of 24. Is that correct?
Very good.
So that means total of 100 megawatt will be added in this financial year.
Right.
Okay. And looking at the numbers calculation that you have given for RESCO, will it be 30 megawatt of additional RESCO will give you additional revenue of around 16 crore, is this correct?
Yeah, very correct.
Okay, wonderful. Now I just want to know last point, RESCO is higher margin or EPC is higher margin? And why?
I didn't get it properly, sir.
You have two models of execution. One is the RESCO and the second is the EPC.
Yeah.
So which one has a higher margin and why?
Sir, the EPC is something where depending on the capability and the design and the requirement of customer, sometimes the customization in the project add more benefit value on the margin side. So it's hard to say that which one is better, which one is depending on the situation. But similarly for the OPEX also, if project is having some complicacy, so that will add more margin side. And if it is a simple plain project, then of course the margin is around 15% of total IRR.
No, I think it's a
EBITDA is higher in RESCO side and EBITDA is lower in the EPC side. So EPC gives us high top line, high bottom line. RESCO gives us high bottom line with annuity, monthly recurring revenue.
Okay, so your endeavor would be to go more in one aspect, or you will go parallel in both?
Parallel.
Going forward next 3 years, your effort
Parallel
will be
in both.
focused more on what?
Yes, definitely EPC will be 70% of the business and RESCO will be 30% of the business.
Thank you so much. All the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Nishant Sharma from Nuvama Wealth Research. Please go ahead. Nishant Sharma, please unmute you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity and many congratulations for the maiden IPO and all the very best for the subscription numbers as well. Couple of questions from my side, sir. If you can provide some breakup in terms of capital employed on these two, like EPC and the RESCO model, and also what would be the capex per megawatt that we might be required in case of a RESCO model?
So total capital employed is 91 CR and the capital employed in RESCO is approximate
45 CR.
45 CR. Yeah, 45 CR.
So Nishant, to clarify, equity in RESCO business is 45 CR. The total capital employed is 91 CR. And in EPC business, the capital will be around
the working capital is around 7 CR.
7 CR.
Yeah. And working capital is from State Bank of India.
Okay, and generally for putting up 1 megawatt of capacity, what would be the total capex? Either if we put it in the RESCO model, that would be for us, and either if it is for client in case of a EPC model.
Thumb rule wise, if you'll ask me, I would say it's in the range of 4 crore to 4.5 crore. But typically, RESCO or CapEx both will have a different way of getting the costing because of the different project is having different type of engineering side of it. So one of the odd project might have a high raise structure or floating type of it, a long cable, something like it. But thumb rule, as I just said, 4 crore to 4.5.
Okay, and just one more question on the RESCO project. You mentioned that there's about 40% of the PAT is there. So will this be covering all the expenses, or this is more like a segmental EBIT?
General expenses, which is on the operation side, it is covered, sir.
Sorry, I missed you.
Operation side expenses are covered under this PAT.
Okay, so this is more like a segmental EBIT.
The question I cannot understand.
Basically, if you just go through your slide on the RESCO model, where you have explained the revenue and the PAT recurring. So there you have mentioned that the PAT is about 40%. So just wanted to understand what exactly the PAT would be. Generally we refer to profit after tax, but just wanted to have a clarity on that front.
So as I just mentioned in the previous question, 1 megawatt typically gets the revenue of 60 lakhs. 3 lakhs is the operational cost, so 57 lakhs. After that, we take the depreciation and the repayment of the debt into the consideration. So the remaining part comes around 30-35 lakhs rupees per megawatt. So you can consider this as a PAT.
Okay.
In the first year, there is no tax. Rajesh, Nishant, I hope you understand under this category of solar RESCO, where 40% depreciation is available. So eventually there is no tax in first few years.
Okay.
That's why PAT is on the high side.
Okay, and just to clarify on, actually because of there's a network issue. So just to clarity that 30 megawatt is the target area for us in the RESCO model, and about 70 megawatt is for the EPC. And we have a total order book of about 200 odd crores, where the module cost is also involved in the revenue part.
It is.
Okay. Thank you. I'll fall back in queue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you. To ask a question, please click on the Q&A tab on the panel and click on Raise Hand button. We'll take the text question, which is from the line of Ravi Shah from Multiplier Capital. Can you optimize tax outgo due to depreciation tax benefit as a result of RESCO model? Please explain the accelerated depreciation benefit.
Under the RESCO model, you just asking?
Yes, sir.
So, as in the solar category, Government of India has given a proposition of 40% accelerated depreciation option. So that gives us initial tax benefit as an event RESCO developer. And on the EPC side also same thing is available. Mr. Ravi, any specific point, probably if I am not able to get your question correctly? 40% is the AD benefit available, even under the RESCO model.
Thank you. The next question is from Nirav Sharma from HNI. While revenue visibility is a positive in the industry, solar power companies are susceptible to some margin volatility. What are your views on this?
So yes, Mr. Neerav, right? You mentioned his name?
Yes, Neerav Sharma from HNI.
Neerav Sharma. Yes, Neerav ji. So that's very correct question. So solar industry has been having some challenges in the past because of the commodity prices or commodity prices, but that is the case in other commodity, other business lines as well. So being an EPC company, I just mentioned, we try to cover that sort of risk through the vendor side and the client side closer in terms of validity of the offers and the order. So that is the one way through we cover the risk. Apart from that, also we get the forecasting from our vendors about 1 quarter ahead or 2 quarter ahead of that category of the components. Through that way only we participate in the projects under the EPC category and take care of risk coverage.
Thank you. The next question is from Gaurav Joshi. You mentioned rupee 4 per unit as the assumed price. Do you have PPAs in place? What are the credit ratings of the counterparties? What is the geographical mix? Also, what type of framework agreement are in place?
Okay, so is this Mr. Gaurav, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Gaurav ji, actually, I get your question. Basically, 4 rupees sounds to be on the higher side, as you have been hearing about tariff of 2.5 or 3 rupees in the solar industry. So yes, as I mentioned, there are 2 categories. One is the utility category, one is the C&I category. So Oriana Power, we are operating in C&I category where average tariff is above 4 rupees. And we have the PPAs executed of 30 megawatt where we have the tariffs of 4.5 plus, we have around 4.2 and anything. More or less, my average tariff of the present capacity is more than 4 rupees. Right? So, sorry?
Recently, we got awarded some projects on the government side also.
Under the same range.
Yeah. So that also having the PPA tariff rate more than 4 rupees.
Yeah.
Thank you. We now take the next audio question that is from the line of Darshit Shah from Nirvana Capital. Please go ahead.
As we understand, over the last few years, there has been a lot of consolidation in this EPC space of solar, and a lot of players have moved out. And if we look at in this space around 20 to 100 megawatt, there are fewer organized players. So would it be fair to assume that we will be mainly focusing on this segment, or do we have the capabilities to even take EPC work beyond 100 megawatt per client?
So Darshit ji, very correctly you pointed out, Indian solar industry has been having some some challenges in terms of EPC side of it. So where we have got very open field available for us to play, and our focus is in C&I category and will remain in C&I category.
Okay, and in terms of order bidding, would it be fair to assume that we will range में ही will be more focused towards sub 100 megawatt kind of?
For now, yes, but yes, going forward we might take up the different side. As of now, focus is on the discount.
Okay. और हमारी order bidding pipeline, if you can throw some light, कितनी रहेगी as of now?
Currently we have order of 40 plus megawatt.
Okay. So that is not, bidding pipeline. So,
yeah, and pipeline is 100 megawatt plus.
Okay. So total around 200 megawatt is what basically comprising of the order size as well, executable near term as well as bidding pipeline.
Very correct.
Right.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be our last question for today. I now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Kulbhushan Parashar, Director, Corporate Capital Ventures Private Limited, for closing comments. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. So, on the closing remark side, I would like to briefly give investors their perspective of how they should look at this company. The company is a very perfect mix of engineers who are on the top of the organization. 3 engineers of average age of 35 years, coming from different engineering background of instrumentation, engineering, chemical, and one of them, Anirudh, is from second generation entrepreneur also. So he brings with him lot of business strategies. So I would focus on this part, that this is a very perfect mix of promoters here in this company. Second, the industry is on a very prosperous side of growth, and lot of attention from government and their initiatives are proving to be the tailwinds of this industry, and they are doing very good. They have got very good clientele in terms of repute industries. Third, they have got investors, and those investors are not just passive investors. They are mentoring the company, the promoters on the side of business and on the side of capital market as well. Fourth, I would focus on that for investors, this is a very justified valuation on which the issue is being organized, and the peers are trading at very high multiples, and there is a lot of on the table for the investors who will participate in this issue. So with that, I would like to say that I have tried to do as much as possible for the investors, and this is what my job is. So I would like to invite all to participate in the IPO, which is opening on 1st of August, which is next Tuesday, and I welcome you all.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Oriana Power Limited, that concludes today's session. Thank you all for your participation. You may now click on Exit Meeting to disconnect. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Please subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another update. Please like, share and comment.